The rise of the Ottoman Empire traces back to a pivotal figure, Osman I, a leader whose vision and determination laid the foundations of one of history's most formidable empires. Living during a time of turmoil and transformation, Osman emerged as a beacon of leadership for a small Anatolian beylik surrounded by the remnants of the declining Seljuk Empire and the expanding Byzantine territories. His life and achievements reflect the resilience and faith that defined the earliest days of the Ottoman state. Born into a family with nomadic Turkic roots, Osman inherited a modest domain from his father, Ertugrul. While small in territory, it was rich in potential due to its strategic location. Situated at the crossroads of civilizations, Osman's beylik became a melting pot of cultural, religious, and economic influences, enabling him to carve out a distinctive identity for his people. Unlike many leaders of his time, Osman envisioned something greater than mere survival. He dreamed of establishing a lasting legacy of Islamic governance and justice. Osman's rise was marked by his ability to unite disparate tribes under a common banner. Through diplomacy, alliances, and calculated military campaigns, he expanded his territory, securing key strongholds that would later become integral to the Ottoman Empire. His leadership wasn't solely defined by conquests. Osman was deeply rooted in Islamic values, which guided his governance and inspired loyalty among his followers. His commitment to justice and fairness resonated with both Muslims and non-Muslims, earning him respect and legitimacy in a diverse region. A key moment in Osman's early leadership was his consolidation of power against the weakening Byzantine frontier. His ability to lead successful raids and establish control over critical areas, like the fortress of Karakahisar, demonstrated his strategic brilliance. These victories not only expanded his domain but also symbolized the dawn of a new power that would eventually challenge the established empires of the era. Osman's legacy extends beyond his conquests. He established the foundation for an administrative system that balanced tribal traditions with Islamic principles. His reign marked the birth of Ottoman institutions that would evolve into a sophisticated bureaucratic and military framework. More than a warrior, Osman was a visionary who understood the importance of creating a strong foundation for future generations. The symbolic beginning of the Ottoman Empire is often attributed to Osman's dream, recorded in historical accounts, where a great tree grew from his chest, its branches spreading over the world. This vision became a metaphor for the empire he founded, a small seed that grew into a vast and enduring civilization. Through his determination and faith, Osman not only laid the groundwork for the Ottoman state but also inspired a dynasty that would rule for over 6 centuries. Osman I remains a figure of profound significance, embodying the spirit of resilience, unity, and faith. His story is a testament to how a single leader's vision can transform the course of history, ushering in an era of unparalleled growth and influence for the Ottoman Empire. Osman I's early life set the foundation for his rise as a visionary leader and the founder of the Ottoman Empire. Born into the Kai tribe, a prominent Turkic clan with a strong nomadic heritage, Osman was exposed to a life of simplicity, resilience, and deep-rooted Islamic values. His father, Ertugrul, was a respected leader who had established a small but strategically important beylik in northwestern Anatolia. From a young age, Osman witnessed the challenges and opportunities that came with ruling a border region, surrounded by the remnants of the Byzantine Empire and the crumbling Seljuk Sultanate. Osman's upbringing was heavily influenced by his family's values. Ertugrul instilled in him a strong sense of justice, courage, and faith, traits that would later define Osman's leadership. The nomadic lifestyle of the Kai tribe also played a crucial role in shaping his character. Constant movement, exposure to diverse cultures, and a need for survival honed his adaptability and strategic thinking. He learned the art of diplomacy and negotiation while forming alliances with neighboring tribes and navigating the complexities of frontier life. As a young man, Osman showed an early aptitude for leadership, earning the respect of his tribe through his bravery and wisdom. He was deeply inspired by Islamic teachings and sought guidance from religious scholars, including the influential Sheikh Edebali. Edebali became a mentor to Osman, imparting spiritual wisdom and reinforcing the idea of a just and righteous ruler. The bond between the two was not only personal but also symbolic, as it reflected the integration of Islamic principles into the governance of the emerging Ottoman state. Osman's marriage to Sheikh Edebali's daughter, Malhan Hatun, further strengthened his ties to the influential religious and tribal networks in the region. This alliance was not only a personal milestone but also a strategic move, as it cemented his legitimacy as a leader and provided him with valuable support from various factions. The geopolitical context of Osman's early life also shaped his vision. The decline of the Seljuk Sultanate had left a power vacuum in Anatolia, creating opportunities for ambitious leaders like Osman to expand their influence. The weakening Byzantine Empire, plagued by internal conflicts and external threats, provided a fertile ground for Osman to establish his authority. He began his campaigns by consolidating control over key territories, relying on both military prowess and astute diplomacy. Osman's leadership style was characterized by his ability to inspire loyalty and unity among his followers. Unlike many rulers of his time, he prioritized the welfare of his people and emphasized justice and fairness in his decisions. This approach earned him widespread respect and solidified his position as a leader who could bring together diverse groups under a single banner. The early years of Osman's life were not without challenges. He faced opposition from rival tribes, Byzantine forces, and even internal dissent. However, his unwavering faith and determination enabled him to overcome these obstacles and lay the groundwork for the Ottoman Empire. By the time he assumed full leadership of the Kai tribe, Osman had already demonstrated his potential as a visionary leader who could transform a small beylik into a formidable power. Osman I's early life is a testament to how personal experiences, cultural influences, and historical circumstances converge to shape a leader. His journey from a young tribal leader to the founder of a dynasty reflects the resilience and foresight that defined the Ottoman Empire's early years. The dream of Osman I is one of the most significant and symbolic episodes in Ottoman history, offering a divine affirmation of his destiny to establish a great empire. This vision, widely recorded in Ottoman chronicles, occurred during his time as a young tribal leader and is deeply tied to his close relationship with Sheikh Edebali, a prominent Islamic scholar and spiritual guide. According to tradition, Osman spent the night at Sheikh Edebali's home, seeking both counsel and blessings. That night, he had a profound dream that would define his life's mission. In the dream, he saw a crescent moon rise from Sheikh Edebali's chest and enter his own. From his chest, a massive tree sprouted, its branches spreading far and wide, covering mountains, rivers, and vast lands. Beneath its shade, countless people gathered, thriving in peace and prosperity. Streams flowed from the roots of the tree, nourishing fields, cities, and gardens. When Osman awoke and shared his dream with Sheikh Edebali, the scholar interpreted it as a divine sign. He explained that the crescent moon symbolized the light of Islam, and the tree represented a mighty empire that Osman would establish. The spreading branches and the streams symbolized the empire's vast reach and its role in bringing justice, prosperity, and Islamic principles to the world. This interpretation not only strengthened Osman's resolve but also solidified his claim to leadership within the Kai tribe and beyond. The dream became a cornerstone of Osman's legitimacy and inspired his followers to see their cause as divinely ordained. It elevated his mission from a mere tribal endeavor to a sacred duty, uniting his people under a shared vision of greatness. The imagery of the dream also reflected Osman's belief in justice, harmony, and the integration of faith into governance, which became central themes of the Ottoman state. Osman's dream continues to resonate as a symbol of divine guidance and historical destiny. It provided a spiritual foundation for the empire, reminding future generations of the principles upon which it was built. This vision was not just a personal inspiration for Osman but a collective aspiration for the people he led, marking the beginning of a legacy that would endure for centuries. The formation of the Ottoman Beylik under Osman I was a defining moment that laid the groundwork for one of history's most enduring empires. This era was marked by Osman's ability to unify diverse tribes, establish a cohesive leadership structure, and create a sense of identity among his people. These achievements were not just the result of military conquests but also of Osman's exceptional leadership and diplomatic acumen. At the time, Anatolia was a fragmented region with various Turkic tribes, Byzantine principalities, and remnants of the Seljuk Sultanate vying for dominance. Osman's vision was to unite these disparate groups under a single banner. This task was far from easy, as tribal rivalries and differing allegiances posed significant challenges. However, Osman demonstrated remarkable political skill in forging alliances. He used kinship ties, strategic marriages, and personal charisma to build trust and loyalty among neighboring tribes. One of the key factors in Osman's success was his ability to position himself as a leader of both faith and governance. By aligning his mission with the principles of Islam, he appealed to the religious sentiments of his followers. His close relationship with Sheikh Edebali, a respected Islamic scholar, further solidified his image as a ruler chosen by divine will. Sheikh Edebali's guidance and spiritual support not only legitimized Osman's leadership but also inspired unity among his people. Osman's military strategies also played a crucial role in the birth of the Ottoman Beylik. Instead of engaging in direct confrontation with stronger powers, he adopted a pragmatic approach. He focused on small but significant victories against the weakening Byzantine frontier, gradually expanding his territory. These conquests were often accompanied by policies of tolerance and integration, which helped Osman win the support of the local populations. The conquered regions were not treated merely as spoils of war but were integrated into the nascent state through fair governance and inclusive policies. Another defining aspect of Osman's leadership was his vision for long-term stability. He established administrative structures that balanced tribal traditions with emerging state institutions. The concept of beylik, or principality, under Osman was characterized by a blend of military leadership and civil governance. Osman appointed trusted allies and family members to key positions, ensuring loyalty and efficiency within his administration. The unification of the Kai tribe and other Turkic clans under Osman's leadership was not just a political achievement but a cultural one as well. He fostered a sense of shared identity among his people, emphasizing values such as justice, faith, and community welfare. This collective identity was crucial in maintaining unity and cohesion during the early years of the Ottoman state. Osman's ability to inspire loyalty extended beyond his immediate circle. His reputation as a just and visionary leader attracted warriors, scholars, and administrators from across the region. These individuals, drawn by the promise of stability and purpose, contributed to the rapid growth of the Ottoman Beylik. The loyalty and dedication of his followers were instrumental in overcoming internal dissent and external threats, ensuring the survival and expansion of the fledgling state. The birth of the Ottoman Beylik was not merely a historical event but the beginning of a legacy that would endure for centuries. Osman's leadership transformed a small tribal group into a cohesive and ambitious state, laying the foundation for the Ottoman Empire. His ability to unify, lead, and inspire remains a testament to his extraordinary vision and enduring legacy. Osman I's military prowess was a cornerstone of his leadership, and his early victories not only solidified his reputation but also laid the foundation for the rise of the Ottoman Empire. These triumphs were a result of strategic brilliance, adaptability, and his ability to inspire loyalty among his followers. At a time when the Byzantine Empire was declining and the fragmented Anatolian region was ripe for conquest, Osman capitalized on the opportunities presented by political and military instability. Osman's military campaigns were marked by calculated and targeted strikes, rather than reckless or large-scale engagements. He understood that his forces, though devoted and skilled, could not afford prolonged battles against larger and more established armies. Thus, he focused on guerrilla warfare tactics, utilizing the rugged terrain of Anatolia to his advantage. His army, composed of horsemen and foot soldiers adept in swift maneuvers, became a formidable force. They specialized in ambushes, hit-and-run attacks, and nighttime raids, tactics that disrupted enemy supply lines and weakened their morale. One of Osman's earliest and most notable victories was the conquest of Kulukahisar Castle. This small but strategic fortress was located near the Byzantine frontier and controlled vital trade and supply routes. Osman's forces carefully observed the castle's defenses, identifying weaknesses that could be exploited. By launching a surprise attack, they managed to capture the stronghold with minimal losses. This victory not only boosted the morale of Osman's followers but also sent a clear message to neighboring territories about the growing strength of the Ottoman Beylik. Following the capture of Kulukahisar, Osman set his sights on other key Byzantine outposts. The weakening Byzantine Empire was struggling to maintain control over its Anatolian territories, and Osman took advantage of this vulnerability. His forces began a series of campaigns aimed at securing towns and fortresses along the frontier. Each victory brought new territory under Ottoman control, expanding the Beylik's influence and resources. These conquests also had a symbolic impact, as they demonstrated Osman's commitment to his vision of establishing a powerful and unified state. One of the defining characteristics of Osman's military leadership was his ability to inspire unwavering loyalty among his soldiers. He led by example, often fighting alongside his men and sharing in their hardships. This approach not only earned him the respect of his troops but also created a strong sense of camaraderie and purpose within the Ottoman army. Osman's ability to motivate his followers was particularly evident during the long sieges and arduous campaigns that defined his early conquests. Osman's victories were not solely the result of military strength. His ability to adapt to changing circumstances also played a crucial role. He was a keen observer of his enemies' weaknesses and often used psychological warfare to his advantage. For instance, he would spread rumors of overwhelming Ottoman strength, causing panic and confusion among his adversaries. In other cases, he formed temporary alliances with neighboring tribes to neutralize common threats before turning his attention to his long-term goals. The capture of Bilchik and Yenishehir were among Osman's most significant military achievements. These towns were not only strategically important but also served as administrative and logistical hubs for the expanding Ottoman state. The conquest of Bilchik, for example, was accomplished through a clever ruse. Osman's forces feigned a peaceful gathering to lower the defenses of the town, only to launch a swift and decisive attack once inside. This victory marked a turning point in Osman's campaign, as it provided the Ottomans with a strong foothold in the region and access to critical resources. Yenishehir, on the other hand, became the first administrative center of the Ottoman Beylik. Its fertile lands and central location made it an ideal base for further expansion. Osman's decision to establish Yenishehir as the heart of his territory demonstrated his strategic foresight and commitment to long-term stability. It also underscored the importance of integrating conquered territories into the Ottoman framework, rather than merely treating them as spoils of war. The Battle of Kopruhisar is another example of Osman's military acumen. Facing a well-fortified Byzantine stronghold, Osman employed a combination of siege tactics and psychological pressure to force the defenders into submission. His forces cut off supplies to the castle, while also maintaining a relentless assault on its walls. The defenders, demoralized and isolated, eventually surrendered, allowing Osman to claim another critical victory. Osman's military successes were not achieved in isolation. They were supported by his ability to build alliances and maintain unity among his followers. He forged strong ties with neighboring tribes, often through marriage alliances or mutual defense agreements. These alliances not only bolstered Osman's forces but also helped to secure his rear lines, allowing him to focus on his campaigns without fear of betrayal or internal dissent. It is also important to note the role of faith in Osman's military endeavors. He and his followers viewed their conquests as part of a divine mission to establish a just and righteous state. This sense of purpose was deeply rooted in Islamic principles, which emphasized the importance of justice, community welfare, and the protection of the faith. Osman's close relationship with Sheikh Edebali further reinforced this spiritual dimension, providing his followers with a moral compass and a sense of divine favor. Osman's early victories were more than just military triumphs. They were the foundation of a legacy that would endure for centuries. His ability to combine strategic brilliance, adaptability, and inspirational leadership allowed him to overcome significant challenges and establish the Ottoman Beylik as a rising power. These achievements set the stage for the empire's future expansion and cemented Osman's place as one of history's most visionary and accomplished leaders. Osman I's governance was a testament to his vision and wisdom, laying the groundwork for what would eventually become one of history's most enduring empires. While his military prowess secured lands, it was his administrative skills that transformed those conquests into a cohesive and sustainable polity. His governance style combined pragmatic decision-making with a deep commitment to justice, inclusivity, and the welfare of his people. Osman recognized early on that governance was not just about expanding territories but also about uniting diverse communities under a single banner. The lands he conquered were home to various ethnicities, religions, and cultures. Osman approached this diversity as a strength rather than a weakness. He ensured that the non-Muslim populations, particularly the Christians in his newly acquired territories, were treated with fairness and respect. By granting them autonomy in their religious practices and ensuring their economic contributions were valued, Osman fostered loyalty and minimized resistance. Central to Osman's governance was the establishment of an organized administrative system. He laid the foundation for a bureaucracy that balanced military leadership with civil administration. Osman appointed trustworthy lieutenants and advisors to oversee different regions, ensuring that governance was both efficient and localized. These leaders, often chosen from among his most loyal companions, upheld Osman's vision of justice and order. Osman's governance also revolved around the equitable distribution of resources. He understood that the prosperity of the state depended on the well-being of its people. Taxation was implemented in a manner that was fair and sustainable. Farmers, merchants, and artisans were encouraged to flourish under a system that protected their livelihoods while contributing to the state's growth. Osman avoided excessive taxation, ensuring that the economic burden on his subjects remained manageable, which, in turn, promoted long-term stability. In addition to his administrative reforms, Osman placed a strong emphasis on law and justice. Guided by Islamic principles, Osman ensured that disputes were resolved fairly and that the rule of law prevailed across his territories. His governance was rooted in Sharia law, which he implemented in a way that addressed both the spiritual and practical needs of his people. Osman's adherence to justice earned him the respect of both his Muslim and non-Muslim subjects, further solidifying their loyalty to his rule. One of Osman's most notable contributions to governance was the concept of loyalty and unity within the emerging Ottoman state. He fostered a sense of brotherhood among his followers, emphasizing the importance of collective effort and shared responsibility. This sense of unity extended to the relationships between the rulers and the ruled. Osman was known for his humility and accessibility, often engaging directly with his subjects to understand their needs and grievances. Osman's governance also laid the groundwork for a military administrative model that would define the Ottoman Empire for centuries. He recognized the importance of maintaining a disciplined and well-organized military force, not just for conquest but also for the defense and administration of his territories. The early foundations of the Janissary system, though not fully realized during Osman's time, were inspired by his vision of a professional and loyal military force that was integrated into the state's governance. Trade and commerce flourished under Osman's rule, further bolstering the economic stability of the Ottoman Beylik. He ensured the safety of trade routes, established marketplaces, and encouraged merchants from diverse backgrounds to engage in economic activities. By fostering an environment of trust and mutual benefit, Osman transformed his territories into hubs of trade and cultural exchange. Another significant aspect of Osman's governance was his ability to delegate authority effectively. He trusted his advisors and military commanders to carry out their duties with integrity, allowing him to focus on the broader vision for his state. This delegation of responsibilities ensured that governance was not overly centralized, reducing the risk of inefficiencies and fostering a sense of shared purpose among his leadership. Osman's relationship with Sheikh Edebali, his spiritual mentor, also influenced his governance. The teachings of Sheikh Edebali instilled in Osman a sense of moral responsibility and a commitment to justice. The famous advice attributed to Edebali, urging Osman to rule with compassion and prioritize the welfare of his people, became a guiding principle of his governance. This spiritual dimension added a sense of purpose and legitimacy to Osman's rule, further strengthening his position as a leader. Perhaps one of the most enduring legacies of Osman's governance was his focus on establishing a unified identity for his people. Through a combination of shared values, common goals, and inclusive policies, Osman created a sense of belonging among his diverse subjects. This unity not only ensured the stability of his state but also set the stage for the future expansion of the Ottoman Empire. In summary, Osman I's governance was characterized by pragmatism, inclusivity, and a commitment to justice. His ability to balance military leadership with effective administration allowed him to transform his conquests into a thriving and unified state. The foundations he laid in governance became the blueprint for the Ottoman Empire's rise to greatness, reflecting his vision of a just and prosperous society. Osman's leadership style, rooted in humility, justice, and strategic foresight, continues to serve as a model for effective governance. Osman Gazi, the founder of the Ottoman Empire, was a leader whose personal traits left a lasting impression on those who followed him. His charisma, courage, and wisdom set him apart as a figure who could inspire unwavering loyalty and bring diverse people together under a unified cause. These qualities were not just natural gifts but were also cultivated through his experiences, challenges, and unwavering faith. One of Osman Gazi's most remarkable traits was his unshakable determination. From the beginning, he faced formidable odds as he sought to carve out a new realm for his people. The fractured and volatile political landscape of Anatolia required a leader who could persevere in the face of adversity. Osman's resilience allowed him to overcome numerous obstacles, from limited resources to constant threats from rival factions. His determination inspired his followers, many of whom were willing to risk their lives to see his vision come to fruition. Osman was also a deeply spiritual man, and his faith played a pivotal role in shaping his character. Guided by Islamic principles, he sought to rule with justice and compassion. This spiritual grounding gave him a sense of purpose that resonated with his followers. Osman's connection to Sheikh Edebali, his spiritual mentor, further reinforced his commitment to leading by example and prioritizing the well-being of his people. This moral compass added depth to his leadership and made him a figure of immense respect. Charisma was another defining trait of Osman Gazi. He had a natural ability to connect with people, regardless of their background or status. His approachable demeanor and genuine concern for others made him a leader who was not just obeyed but admired and loved. Osman's charisma was particularly evident in his ability to unite various tribes and groups, many of whom had differing interests and loyalties. Through his persuasive communication and sincere intentions, he forged alliances that laid the groundwork for the Ottoman Empire's expansion. Osman's courage was legendary, both on and off the battlefield. As a warrior, he was known for his fearlessness and tactical brilliance. His ability to inspire confidence in his troops often turned the tide in critical battles. However, Osman's courage extended beyond warfare. He was willing to take risks and make bold decisions that others might have avoided. Whether it was challenging more powerful adversaries or embracing innovative strategies, Osman's bravery was a cornerstone of his leadership. Another significant aspect of Osman Gazi's personality was his vision. He was not just a leader of his time but a visionary who looked beyond the immediate future. Osman's ability to see the potential for a unified and powerful state in Anatolia set him apart from other tribal leaders. This vision was supported by his strategic thinking and long-term planning, which enabled him to establish a strong foundation for the Ottoman Empire. Osman's humility was a trait that endeared him to his followers. Despite his growing power and influence, he remained grounded and approachable. He treated his companions and subjects with respect and ensured that their voices were heard. This humility made Osman a leader who was both respected and relatable, strengthening the bond between him and his people. Generosity was another hallmark of Osman's character. He was known for sharing his resources with his followers and ensuring that their needs were met. This generosity was not just material but also extended to his time, attention, and guidance. Osman's willingness to support his people fostered a sense of loyalty and gratitude that was crucial for the stability and growth of his state. Osman's sense of justice was perhaps one of his most defining traits. He believed in fairness and sought to resolve conflicts in a manner that upheld the principles of equity and righteousness. This commitment to justice earned him the trust and admiration of both his Muslim and non-Muslim subjects. Osman's reputation for fairness was instrumental in consolidating his rule and creating a harmonious society. In addition to these traits, Osman Gazi possessed a keen intellect and adaptability. He was a quick learner who understood the complexities of governance, diplomacy, and warfare. Osman's ability to adapt to changing circumstances and seize opportunities contributed significantly to his success. His intellectual curiosity and openness to new ideas made him a leader who could navigate the challenges of his time effectively. In summary, Osman Gazi's personal traits, his charisma, determination, courage, humility, and sense of justice, were integral to his success as a leader. These qualities not only enabled him to establish the Ottoman Empire but also left a lasting legacy that continues to inspire admiration and respect. Osman's life and character remain a testament to the power of vision, resilience, and principled leadership. Osman Gazi's legacy is one of enduring influence, shaping the course of history long after his passing. As the founder of the Ottoman Empire, his vision and leadership created a spark that grew into one of the most formidable and long-lasting empires the world has ever known. His contributions were not limited to military conquests but extended into governance, culture, and a unifying sense of purpose that would define the Ottoman state for centuries. One of the most profound aspects of Osman's legacy lies in his ability to unify diverse groups under a single banner. The fractured political landscape of Anatolia, marked by rival tribes and the waning Byzantine influence, required extraordinary leadership to consolidate power. Osman achieved this by fostering a sense of unity among his people. His ability to bring together Muslim and non-Muslim communities through alliances and just governance established a foundation of trust and loyalty. This inclusivity became a hallmark of the Ottoman Empire, enabling it to thrive as a multicultural and multi-religious state. Osman's vision for the Ottoman Empire extended beyond immediate territorial gains. He sought to create a state that would be guided by justice and the principles of Islam. His approach to governance emphasized fairness, equity, and the well-being of his subjects, regardless of their faith or background. This sense of moral leadership was carried forward by his successors, who built upon his framework to create an empire that was as respected for its governance as it was feared for its military might. The military successes of Osman Gazi laid the groundwork for the Ottoman Empire's expansion, but his legacy is not solely defined by his victories on the battlefield. He demonstrated strategic brilliance in choosing his battles, often prioritizing long-term stability over short-term gains. His decision to focus on the weakening Byzantine frontiers, rather than engaging in conflicts with fellow Muslim states, showcased his pragmatic approach. This foresight allowed the Ottoman state to expand methodically and avoid unnecessary internal strife, ensuring its survival and growth in its formative years. Osman's spiritual connection and adherence to Islamic principles profoundly influenced the identity of the empire he founded. Guided by the teachings of Sheikh Edebali, Osman imbued his leadership with a sense of divine purpose. This spiritual grounding not only inspired his followers but also set a moral and ethical precedent for the rulers who came after him. The integration of Islamic values into the empire's governance and culture created a unifying force that resonated deeply with its people. The administrative framework Osman established became a cornerstone of the Ottoman Empire's success. While his state was still in its infancy during his reign, the systems of governance, taxation, and law enforcement he implemented served as a model for his successors. His emphasis on justice and accountability ensured that the Ottoman state was not merely a collection of territories but a cohesive and well-administered entity. Another enduring aspect of Osman's legacy is the symbolism associated with his name. He became a figurehead for the values of courage, faith, and resilience, inspiring generations of Ottomans to strive for greatness. His legacy was enshrined in the very identity of the empire, with the name, Ottoman, deriving from his own. This symbolic connection reinforced a sense of continuity and pride among the people, even as the empire evolved over the centuries. Osman's personal qualities, his humility, generosity, and unyielding determination, also left an indelible mark on his legacy. His approachability and commitment to his people created a bond of trust that was rare among rulers of his time. These traits were emulated by many of his successors, who sought to lead with the same sense of purpose and responsibility. The empire that Osman Gazi founded endured for over 6 centuries, influencing vast regions of Europe, Asia, and Africa. Its cultural, political, and economic contributions shaped the world in countless ways, from the flourishing of art and architecture to the establishment of trade networks that connected continents. While the Ottoman Empire eventually declined, its impact on history remains undeniable, and the vision of its founder continues to be celebrated. Osman Gazi's legacy is a testament to the power of vision, determination, and principled leadership. He transformed a small frontier principality into the foundation of one of history's greatest empires. His life and achievements serve as an enduring reminder of how a single leader's vision can ignite a movement that transcends time and geography. Through his unifying spirit, strategic brilliance, and commitment to justice, Osman Gazi left a legacy that continues to inspire admiration and respect to this day.